All right, we are live. We are live, you guys. RT Bear here, coming to you live from Hack Shack Studios. And yeah, it's a Pontificators night. We got the guys in there all fired up. We got some stuff to talk about. To be honest, we're probably going to be making it up as we go along, which is how most of these shows are anyway. But yeah, it's going to be good. Marvel, Tom Brevoort has dropped a major bomb. So most of the comics industry now has complete validation, things that we've talked about on this program for years and years now. We finally have concrete proof that it is indeed happening. Yeah, so geez, I'm gonna wait for a sign of life, you guys. As always, sign of life. Let me know if you guys are there. Type in "I'm here, I'm alive," something like that in the chat. Yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be good. So we usually go for about 2 hours and talk about pop culture. We usually try to get into some kind of solution. So we not only, talk about the problems, but possible solutions. We try to keep it as positive as we can at times, because God knows there's a lot of negativity out there. All right, we got Edwin. First sign of life. Yeah, you get an award. You get a what is that? A no award. What is that called? That Marvel had. But yeah, let me get the guys in here. I want to. I got a lot to talk to this guy about. He is freaking moving and shaking. He's got some crazy stuff going on his YouTube channel, and you guys are gonna know as soon as I click this button. You guys are gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Pedro Ang. What's up, my friend?
Hey, how's everybody doing? What's up, Art? Good
Good, good.
evening.
You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drop. We're gonna get into this right off the bat.
Do it.
This is Pedro Ang's YouTube channel, and he's got Animation Dojo. Well, he does a lot of things on his channel, but he's got an
Yeah.
Imagination or Animation Dojo, and he's breaking down some cool animation stuff on his program. He's giving away a bunch of knowledge for free. All you
Yep.
guys need to do is click that link I put in the description, or not in the description, but in the chat here.
The
Here
chat.
it is.
Yeah.
And go over there and sign up. And we're going to be plugging this thing for the next 2 hours because it is worthy of a mention. And Pedro's a good guy. He's very, very talented. And like I said, he's giving this shit away for free, man.
Yeah. I mean, the what really got the fire like under my tuckus was basically how AI is trying to do animation, and I feel it's my job to preserve this information. And I give it for free, yes, but I'm getting a lot of hits from people who want to work with me. So there you go. Like, it's not really altruistic.
That's kind of the template. It
Yeah.
feels counterintuitive, right? You give
Mhm.
and give and give, and then hopefully you'll launch something, or you have signups, or a book, or just anything, and then people support you. I remember when Adam Carolla launched his podcast, and he was talking early on about it, and people were encouraging him to monetize the podcast.
Yeah.
And he said, no, he said, I'm going to give it away for free. And then when I do live appearance, I launch books, I do things, then I'm hoping that people will then, come and support. And that's pretty much what the Comicsgate model is. And so
Yeah.
far, so good. So continued success. I'm going to get the guys in here.
Yeah, let's do it.
And we're probably going to go off the rails, Pedro, but bring me back because we got some animation. We got some Pedro Ang animation. We're going to
Yeah.
go off. But I want the guys to be here and get their reactions as well. So this guy is invaluable, especially behind the scenes, brings a lot of news, views, and topics to the Pontificators. And God, I gotta ask this guy, how long have we been doing this show? Without further ado, Comic Book Bob.
What's
Bob, how
up?
long have we been doing this show together?
So,
Oh God. 5 years almost.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
I
right?
didn't start with you and Todd, but like I came in like maybe like a year and a half after that. So it's been a while.
Yeah, it's so weird, like how quick time moves. Like today, I feel like I just started, and now I'm starting to wind down my day. I absolutely hate it, but it is a reality of life. And I always appreciate everything you do here, Bob. So I just want to say that, because Bob never asks for anything. And
This
wait,
is my reward, man. I get to hang out with industry pros, man. That's what fan wouldn't love this.
That's cool, man. So look at Todd. I'm not gonna make it. Oh, come on, Todd.
Oh, come on.
Come on. Yeah, we're talking about old times.
Not gonna have Todd's disdainful scowl in the background.
Yeah. I mean, he has a bright disposition, that Todd. Take that back.
Well, speaking of bright disposition, let's get Rob Hunter in here.
Oh, look, Kitty.
It's a kitty. It makes me smile. He makes me smile. Oh, I got 2 things for everybody watching. Learn Chinese and buy Death Rider #1 on Fund My Comic.
Dude, those 2 covers you posted were pretty dope, man.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, well, the one is just it's the Brett Booth one.
Yeah.
And the other one, that's the Psy character from my book. That was I really wanted it to be a surprise when people opened their box who ordered the black and white through Indiegogo. Unfortunately, I needed a big splash when I launched on Fund My Comic, because when I started looking at the numbers that I sold of certain books and how expensive those books would be to print, I had to print more copies. And my wife said, "You're out the door if there is as many copies as you want to order to get the price point down in our house for the next 2 years." So I'm like, well, I better launch on Fund My Comic and try to sell more copies, because it's already at the printer. I'm like, holy crap. When you start thinking like, wait, a long box is like 300 books. How many long boxes of books am I going to be getting in on?
How many, what's your print run?
I'm not saying. Why would I tell anybody that? No.
But Rob, this is a great marketing tool. Buy some books. Save my marriage.
Well, it's because I had multiple covers.
There you go.
And like the booth covers, which I'm very proud of, those only were on sale for like 2 weeks. So it was kind of dumb to only have them on sale for 2 weeks on IGG or IG Indiegogo.
Yeah.
And then to have such a low print order, but I don't want to just refund people. I want to wait a minute, let me just hold the inventory, and hopefully I don't have to hold the inventory for too long.
But just know, and tell your wife this, it's always better to way overprint. I got thousands of books in storage right now. And there's one book, well, there's a few books. One, the original black and white #1 is completely sold out. I only have one version of the book myself, right? So that thing's completely gone. I wish I had more. And also like Chrono Mechanics 1, I wish I had more of those. I mean, I have maybe 100 copies of those. Whoa. And right now I could run a campaign. You know what I mean? But, there are people that are asking me, I want Chrono Mechanics material. I want, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't support a campaign unless I go back to print. Yeah. And that's kind of an iffy proposition, right? Because it's like, what if it's just, a few hundred books, that's an expensive print run. So
yes,
you're kind of, your hands are tied.
Well, unfortunately, the print run I already paid for put me out on such a limb that if I can't cover it, then the loan shark is going to be knocking on my door.
Ooh.
Okay.
So let's I really need to move copies.
Okay.
Some guy named Pino is going to come knocking on your door.
He'll get you good. Well, let's talk to Clint a little bit, man. So it feels like it's been forever, Clint.
What's going on, gentlemen? It's been a minute or two. I think it's good to see everybody again. I mean, we've done a show after the first, I think, but February in Minnesota is just you hunker down, you hibernate, literally, this month I actually just got the proofs in for my last book, and I've just been drawing like hell Blue Bombshell. So as miserable as it is up here north, for getting work done, it is fantastic because there's just nothing else to do. If you step outside, you may freeze to death. So
It's
I have been drawing. I've been approving all the proofs.
dude.
I'm going to get ready for shipping towards the end of February here. So
You know what, Clint?
It's kind of a good thing, Clint, because
Yeah.
you know you don't have any distractions. It's like
if
well,
I
there's
live
only
someplace
one thing to
nice,
do.
if I live
You
someplace
know what?
nice,
You know
I'd
what?
walk outside and enjoy the
Yeah.
sunshine.
But you know what, Clint?
It's 14 below yesterday.
Yeah. You know what, Clint? When the U.S. finally takes over Panama, I'll be your real estate agent.
Yes.
Oh.
Get you a nice
I want-
beachfront house.
Pedro, I
How
want
about
a
that?
spot. I want a spot right next to you, buddy.
All right.
Yeah,
There
I'll,
you go.
I'll buy up.
You
I'll
can
buy
come
up
up here in the fall. You can come up
Yeah.
here in the fall with me, and we'll go down in February to Panama.
Yeah,
that's-
we can go in and buy up Pedro's
you can
country.
you can live in a
Yeah,
house
but
like
the
Pedro
thing-
does
the
with
thing
made
is-
of poop and banana leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has been like today. It was supposed to be 40-something degrees. It was 30,
no.
it was under 32, so it was freezing. Tonight it's supposed to be 28. I know Clint's like Crimea River, but
It's fine.
you know, for the first time in my life, I actually experienced cold since I've moved to Texas.
Sure.
Like
Yep.
living in Southern California my whole life, you know, it's like, oh man, it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be like 40 degrees.
Dude, you know
tonight.
what this reminds me of? When I went to college, because I live up here in the upper part of Ohio. When I went to school in Florida, and during the 3 months of the year when it's not like, you know, it doesn't feel like a nutsack down there, it got down to like 45 degrees one day, and they were acting like it was a friggin' emergency. I'm walking around in friggin' shorts.
It was 72 here today.
I'm like, you guys don't know what cold is, man. It's like when you need a dog sled team to go outside and get your friggin' mail.
Yeah, I don't want to be in any kind of environment that I could die. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be, you know, there's people like in California, it's like, you know, you can get a cheap land out in the desert. I'm like, yeah, you can die out there. Like, I don't want to live in a
Cheaply.
fucking desert.
You
And I
can
don't
die
wanna
cheaply
live-
in the desert. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to live where it freezes or there's enough snow that you can be trapped in your house. Like, it'll just cover your house and you can't open
Oh,
your
come
door.
on. That's when you know you're alive, when you got to dig
Yeah.
yourself out of your house. That's life. That's life.
What is that, 6 degrees?
It's
Oh,
tropical
yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
downright tropical. It's balmy.
It's 11
Yeah.
here right now.
This is shorts weather right now.
Yeah. Clint's putting on his tanning lotion.
I went to the
Yeah.
gym today in shorts, and some of the people were looking at me weird. I'm like, dude, I'm not changing my clothes in here. I'm getting in there, get it done, and get the hell out.
You know what's so weird is like I experienced this in New York in the winter when I was younger, where you could be between two buildings and it's like, oh, it's not too bad. You know, and then you get in the intersection, then all of a sudden that breeze from like, I guess, west, east, or
Oh, yeah.
whatever
Oh,
comes across. You're like, holy
Oh.
shit.
It feels like someone stabbed you in the face.
Yeah,
Guys,
and today was like that. Like I walk out.
this is
32.
Celsius.
Oh, okay.
Celsius. So
what
That
what-
But anyway, like I walk out because
Yeah.
I got like a garage house situation. There's like a little walkway between, it's enclosed. So I'm out there and I'm, you know, letting the dog do his thing. And so I'm kind of shielded. And then I walked 1 foot past it and I was like, oh my gosh, freezing cold.
yeah.
So I just said, hey, buddy, you're on your own. You know, I went back
Okay,
in the
so, oh, guys, for FYI, 32 is 89 degrees,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I
And
was
that's
wondering.
right. and it's night down here.
I did
But
the
you know what?
conversion.
The day before yesterday, it was like
Yeah.
70 degrees. So like
Oh,
the
that's
thing
nice.
about Texas is it can go from like 80 to 30 in like hours.
Mm.
But before we go anywhere, I want you guys to see this too. Pedro's been working on some not so top secret animation stuff, and I wanted to show this off because I think it's absolutely amazing. And if you guys were ever like wondering what the hell does Pedro Eng do, this is what Pedro Eng does.
Yeah, so this is a not any of the characters from Chrono Mechanics, but it's like a mechanic, a generic mechanic from Chrono Mechanics. Because I'm getting ready to start a little project with art, with Chrono Mechanics animation, and I use this for the animation class, and we did a run cycle. So this is what we did in 1 hour.
Oh shit! Look at that. Look at that
And
bounce. There's a nice, playful bounce to that. That's cool, man.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that's the thing. That's at the animation dojo. I teach you step by step how to do this kind of animation, and yeah, sign up.
Very
Let's see
cool.
if we can turn you into animators, so we can make an army and don't depend on Disney or anyone. And let's animate. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys. The link. I'll put it in. I think I still have it. I'll put it in the description or in the chat here. And this is to Pedro's channel. And so Pedro has Animation Dojo where he look at that shot. It's perfect. Where he does this type of stuff. Did you do this live on the show?
Yeah, everything is done live with a live audience, and it's a stream. I'm not trying to like that like quick cut thing that make things perfect. I want people to see the mistakes, and I want people to see the thought process. So that's why I'm like taking the risk of doing it live. But I mean, we go from the simple things from like, let me save all here, from just doing like a bouncing ball. This is the first class, and you can do that like in about an hour, and then the exercises will get like more complicated as the classes progress, and they're all already in the channel.
So these are called. This is like squash and stretch exercise.
Yeah, exactly. The first one will isolate how to create a line of action, timing, and spacing. This one starts with squash and stretch and basically working from a model. And then it progresses. It becomes more and more complicated. Like, for example, from this, you go to the jump. And
you can see the same principles at play here. You can see the squash and you can see the stretch. Yeah.
Dude,
this looks like stretch and squash.
This take me back to my my last year at Full Sail.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get this Jerry Roscoe for the $5 super chat. Thank you. I was looking at old issues of Naughty and Nice that I drew and realized Clit drew the cover. I wanted to say how good it is. Hoping, what is that? Hoping it ups the eBay price. Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's one of Murat Michael's properties, and me and Murat would do stuff probably a few years ago now. You lose track of all this stuff, but I did some variant covers for Murat because I just liked what he was doing over there. And I mean, obviously Murat's a big Rob Liefeld guy, and I've always been a big Rob Liefeld guy. So I never got any like comp copies or anything, which I never expected to. I'm not ripping on Murat because he's got a lot of stuff going on with all of those books he's doing, and it's just hard to get that stuff sent out. But I never saw any of the interior, so that's very cool that Jerry posted that, because I'd love to see what Jerry did on the interiors. That's awesome. So
can you find that cover? We can show it off.
Oh gosh,
deep archive stuff.
Yeah, like I'd spend the rest of the show looking for it. I think probably.
And you might throw your back. Yeah, so don't do it.
Like on Facebook, people, like on Murat's channel, people will post stuff, and occasionally I'll see a couple of covers because I did a couple of covers for Murat, just Hot Girl, like the Naughty and Nice stuff was kind of like along the Avatar stuff that I did, and they were just fun stuff, and I liked doing stuff with Murat because I was a fan of his. So.
Yeah, Murat's a lot of fun, and he loves comic books. Yeah, so thank you so much, Jerry, and I wish we had that cover that we could share. Everybody,
awesome. Thanks for bringing it up, Jerry.
Yeah, look for that. I didn't.
Was it Naughty and Nice Menage a Trois issue number 5?
It might have been. There's covers that I did. I think I did a handful of covers for Murat when we were talking. And the thing is you get old. 50s or whatever. It's not that old, but man, my
There you go.
memory's always been Swiss cheese. Yeah, like probably, that's me.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I can see
Hot
you.
girl covers on there.
Clint.
It's fun stuff. And I don't know if this is the book Jerry did the interiors on, but
Well, anyways, this is for you, Jerry. Memory Lane.
because Marat was doing crowdfunder stuff like when I was trying to figure out how to do crowdfunder stuff. This was probably like, I would say like 10, 12 years ago. And I had no clue. So you kind of look around and you kind of look for what other people are doing. And Marat was helpful, and it was awesome. And, you know, again, big fan of Marat. So,
Well, before we go into the topic, I want to share something because also this is kind of along the same vein of like what Pedro is working on. So if you guys don't know, I have where is it? Yeah, a website. It's called Chrono Mechanics.
Oh yeah.
So, this is cool if you guys want to know what Chrono Mechanics is all about. This is the website. I'll put the link in the description. You guys check it out. I got to justify this because, oh my gosh, what is the website host? They're charging so much money now to host these websites. I think they're doing it because there's a lot of new businesses, you know, that are, you know, all online, things like that, and so they can ask for this kind of money. I forget it didn't. Nothing goes up like by like $10, $20, $30. This thing went up by hundreds of dollars. So I need to get my money's worth out of it. So you guys, like I said, I'll post the link in the chat there. But and then you guys can check it out. But it's a lot of fun, man. It's Time Repairman, and it's Oot, Doug, Caravaggio, and Zin, and it's just it's a good fun action adventure comedy. We got some great quotes by some very, very important people like Einstein. They make time travel relatively fun. That's Einstein, smarty pants scientist. We got Midas. This book is pure gold. No, I'm serious. How does it end? I touched the damn thing. So that's Midas. Very rich king, hands-on kind of guy. And then we got Aristotle. All the knowledge of the universe is in this book. Deep, huh? Aristotle. Same. What is that? Some knew it all along, or whatever it said. I can't read it because I'm blind. But yeah, and click on the Chronoverse so you can familiarize yourself with the concepts and the characters. We got some reviews here. So here's some of the characters. We got Oud Caravaggio, we got Zin, we got Doug. Here's the team. This was done for the toy line, actually. This was for the package designs. We actually had a couple tentative deals with these guys in the past. Things that almost happened, but I'm hoping that we can still do some of that stuff. We got reviews. We got Bill Ray, Ren and Stimpy, Samurai Jack, a Big Blown Baby. We got Doug TeNapel. We got a quote from him. Nickelodeon's Cat Scratch and Earthworm Jim, Creature Tech. We got Steven Silver, who's been really helpful with your craft right now, Pedro. He's speaking out, you know, about the way animation is being done right now, and that it's kind of I hate saying this, but it's kind of a dying art form. But also, what's happening is a lot of people are saying that, like what we're going to do, Pedro, is indie animation is going to come on strong. So Steven Silver is a great guy, he's a friend. He did the character designs for Danny Phantom, Kim Possible, which was one of the family's favorites, and Clerks. And then, of course, Judd Winnick, Tom Bancroft. I even have one, oh my gosh, what was the guy that wrote Ender's Game?
Or Scott Card.
Yeah, or Scott Card. I didn't put it up because he's a little bit he's a little bit of a controversial fellow. So I didn't put it on.
Ender's Game's one of those damn best books ever, though.
Art, when it
it's
comes
good.
to those hosting websites, always try to switch before when your contract's about to end, because they will keep raising the price over and over. So you can switch to another company and usually like get it almost free for the first year.
But the thing is, don't you have to rebuild the entire site?
No, they can just move it. It just gets transferred.
Are you serious? So you
Yeah.
can transfer an existing website to a new hosting service?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I got to tell Pamela
yeah.
that we just
Yep.
paid the blood money, because also we have Art by T Bear, and my whole catalog's in there. You know what I mean? So that would take a year to log all that stuff in. That's good advice, man. I'll bring
for
it.
sure.
Yeah.
You see, this is an informative show. Shut up, kids.
I thought that was someone's sound effect
No.
because you said it was an informative show. Then it was like, hooray!
Right, no, it's freaking
I'm
kids.
surprised
I
you didn't
think-
pull
I
off a
think-
chunkla and just throw it.
Yeah.
Isn't it like the Panamanian New Year or something?
No, those kids are just loud. Whenever like a big truck goes by, it's like, yeah. So it's like, dude,
They just
you
got
guys have
another.
TV?
They just got another pinata.
Yeah.
Throw
Well,
a
that's
flip-flop at it.
Pedro's slave labor right there. That's how he gets all this animation done.
Yeah, they look after the goats while I animate.
I thought that was a goat. But
Yeah.
also, Rob Hunter has just launched a second chance at his Death Raider.
I
And
did.
do you have that up, Rob? Is this it
No,
here?
that's just the cover that everybody's liking right now.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that cover. It's
Yeah, so
gorgeous.
this actually is everybody who bought the black and white on Indiegogo gets this cover, but a lot of people didn't order the black and white, and now that they get to see the cover, because I wanted it to be a surprise. Here it is. You can get it on Fun My
Surprise, motherfucker!
Yeah,
Nice.
and that's the crazy cyborg character Psy.
That's a kick-ass
Amazing.
cover, Rob. That cover
Thank
is
you.
gorgeous, man.
Well, when I was working on it, it really showed, because I did most of Death Raider, and then I did the giant mech book for a buddy of mine, and then I started doing Death Raider 2, and then I did this cover.
Then you did this
So-
cover. So you've been
So-
you've been grinding. You've been grinding, and it's paying off.
Yeah. There's a lot of time, and I've learned a lot since.
Yeah.
So it's I was just happy with the results. Thank you very much, guys. It's
No, it looks gorgeous. Love
you.
that cover.
Yeah, very cool, man. Best of luck with that. Here is the link, you guys, to the Chrono website. So justify the blood money that I paid out. I think it's what company? It's the one that they advertise all the time.
Is it GoDaddy?
No. It's one of those early ones that started this whole put it together yourself. Because I have a site that came out before that a friend of mine was writing code for, believe it or not. And
I think you can switch and ask for your money back. It depends on your contract. You might have to look it over and see if you can get out of it.
yeah, I'll do it. I'll run it by Pamela. Is this your site here, Rob?
Oh yeah, is this the Fun My? Yeah, the Fun My.
Comic?
Yeah, Fun My Comic. So
Yep.
this is Death Raider 1, and now it's on Fun My Comic. I've already explained why, because I don't want to be sitting around with 5,000 copies of Death Raider 1 with all the different covers.
Well, you said you weren't going to tell me how many, and now it's 5.
Yeah,
No,
it's just like-
No, that's just a number. That's just a number I've thrown out.
That's a lot of books.
I printed between 3 and 10 times as many copies as that the sales were, just because I was looking at it and was like, holy crap, this Brett Booth cover, this book, like the pencil cover is going to cost me $22 to print each book. So I'm like, that does not work out at all logistically. So I had to print more copies.
So where is that Brett Booth? Is it in this campaign?
Oh yeah, hold on. It's let me scroll.
I've been holding. I want to see shit.
Well, it's small and a package deal. We'll see. It's all by itself though. Let's see.
Nice.
There's the Psy one. There's Anna. Here's the Brett Booth cover.
Ooh.
And there's even a wait, let it load. Black and white version. Well,
So you don't have that cover in the body of the site, so you can see it bigger.
I don't.
You can only see it on the
Let me
on
see.
the
Yeah,
side.
yeah. I don't think I put it there because I put pages. I showed people the actual, lettered and colored pages. No, I didn't put it in the body. No, that's as big as it gets.
Well, I would put it in the body, or I would do an update and put that
Yeah.
up there for people.
Okay.
I mean, updating a Fund My Comic page is really easy.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so yeah.
It's funny because I got a lot of the same advice with when I was putting stuff on IGG, and then after a while, people were like, "You have so much shit on your campaign, I can't sort through it."
I found the Brett Booth drawing. If you want to put it up there so people can see it.
Oh, sweet. I don't.
Oh, hang on. He's here. It dropped it for some reason. There you go.
Boom. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sweet. Look at that.
Oh
There's
yeah, the pencil.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
Dude.
Yep.
Yeah. Brett does consistently great work. I
Yeah.
think he's better now than he was in the day.
Oh, I think him working on the Titans books where he had to work on the team of characters like every month, that grind, I think it really just pushed him to the next level because he kind of got into a weird plateau at Marvel on that Vampire Girl book.
Oh, that Anita Blake book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a
Yeah.
lot of people just standing around. But
Yeah.
when he came back to DC, all of a sudden everybody's running, everyone's jumping, the storytelling just went,
All
through
the DC stuff I think really helped him develop, and now he's doing
Yeah.
that Gunslinger Spawn book.
Oh yeah.
Well, the thing is, he used to draw people like really skinny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
His-
Anita Blake was that way too. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
his new stuff, he's kind of like thickened
Mhm.
his figures and his faces out.
And they had really long arms.
right,
Yeah,
and so he's gotten past that. But SDA, I actually worked with Brett on Backlash, and Backlash was my competitor with Black and White. I think
Oh,
it came out the same month. That and what was Jay Lee's book?
Hell Shock.
Shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my competition as far as new image books in '94. I think it was October of '94. But I held
how'd you
my
do?
own.
How'd you do against them?
Yeah, paid for my house.
Well, wait, no, but you said they were the
Yeah.
competition. So were you number 1 and they were 2, 3, or were you like number 6? They were
Well,
7, 8.
obviously Jay Lee was number 1. I think I was 2, and Backlash was
Ooh.
3. But the numbers
Yeah.
were real close. You know, I
Nice.
mean,
Yeah.
they were real close.
Did-
And go ahead.
Did you ever see the Brett Booth Spider-Man Backlash one shot?
Yeah.
I don't know why Marvel didn't try to hire him away to do Spider-Man. That was like Brett Booth meets Todd McFarlane, and it was amazing. It was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because it had what was it? It had Venom and what's his name?
Dude.
Pike as
Yeah.
the main villains.
Ooh. Yeah.
It
that's
really was incredible.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Marvel and DC editors were never interested in hiring talented artists after the 90s.
No, this was it still the 90s when that came out?
I think so, yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
later.
It was the
later
late 90s. Yeah.
They
Yeah,
were going to hire
doing
anybody.
all those crossovers, right? Like Marvel
Yeah.
did a lot of crossovers with like image
Yeah.
creators.
They
Because Jim
didn't
still
wanna-
owned. Jim still owned Wildstorm at that time.
They were still bitter. They didn't want to bring any
Yes.
of those image guys back because they are all feeling like they were all butthurt from all the image guys leaving.
Well, if you
Yeah.
remember, I always remember this specifically because it was so jarring. We went from Weiss Portacio's Iron Man with the cool mufflers and the very anime to when it came back to Marvel, Iron Man had a fucking pistol and a holster on his suit. Like it was like you guys just went from like Weiss just pushed you 10, 15 years into the future, and then you decided to go back to like 1975 for some reason.
Oh.
It was really weird. They were so angry with Image.
Oh, I
and-
don't even remember the Iron Man with the pistol and a holster.
Oh,
That's
it's
crazy.
so bad.
Like the
Yeah,
Rocketeer?
wasn't that the when they because they kind of did that thing where they killed him and they brought in the young Tony Stark, the teenage one.
Oh,
They're
the
so
teenage
angry.
Tony
It's
Stark
so
storyline
stupid,
was
yeah.
garbage.
Yeah.
That was garbage.
Instead of like building off of Heroes Reborn, they were super pissed and super angry, and they tried to make sure it never existed.
Well, and I guarantee there was so many bitter creators
Editors.
that were like, once they got the guy out who said we have to bring the Heroes Reborn Image guys back, once they got him out, there were so many bitter creators in every editor's ear. Like Mark Waid had it because it was Mark Waid and Ron Garney on a really pretty decent Captain America run. And then they're like, nope, F you. We're going to give Rob, we're giving Rob carte blanche and giving him Captain America super pecs and female Bucky. And, you know,
I'm so mad.
So there had to be so many big name creators that were so butthurt by that.
Yeah. The funny thing about like the funny irony for me personally with that whole Heroes Reborn, Heroes Return, all that stuff is when Heroes Reborn was being launched, I was leaving Extreme, right? So I started a studio with Sam Liu, who does all the animation for the Batman stuff, like Warner Brothers, Jeff Matsuda, Chap Yap, and those guys. And so those guys, some of them were working on, I think Chap was working on the Heroes Reborn stuff. And so I got to see some of this stuff, as it was coming out and things. But I was like, Jeff and I were already transitioning for me to go back to Marvel, but for Jeff to start at Marvel. What's that, Clint?
Art, couldn't you have just whispered in Chap Yap's ear? Isn't that just a little bit angular?
The thing is, he was already out the door too, because those guys were starting to work at Sony at the time on the Jackie Chan adventure. So those three guys, along with their assistant Hawk June, those guys were already kind of out the door. But the funny, ironic thing about it is when I left Marvel, started Image, and then when I was going back to Marvel, I eventually got on the X books again. So the book I left on, X-Men, I came back to. So I came back to the book. So the numbering, started working with Kubert. And then when Heroes Return started, I also worked on that book. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of like these bookends, It's like, there's the beginning and then there's the end of it. And the Heroes Return, it wasn't too bad. It was kind of a little clusterfucky as far as the story, but they didn't have Iron Man with the pistol or anything like that yet.
I love the scientific term, clusterfucky.
Art? Did you ever ink any Roger Cruz stuff there?
I always liked Roger Cruz. I think when he was, what was his thing called? X-Man?
Yeah, like they found them around in a lot in that area.
He did Youngblood.
But this was after that when they brought him over, and it was like everybody's picking on him because he was Maduriera, but it's like that's what they hired him for. He looked exactly like Maduriera.
The book that I have of his that I liked was that Victory.
I don't remember.
It was like a fantasy thing. It was kind of like the chick, the character Red Monica from
Battle Chasers.
Yeah. The main character kind of looked like her. He did it like a real sexy type thing.
Roger Cruz got a raw deal because everybody picked on him because he's a Madeira ripoff. But it's like, who cares? It's like everybody likes this guy's art, and then this guy's doing like a version of it, and it's just not as good, but it's really good.
He had a good run at Marvel, right?
Yeah, he had but he was out for a long time. Now he's back again, but it was like 20 damn years he was gone.
Yeah, this is the cover for the first book of that series, Victory.
Oh, I remember it now. Okay.
Oh, I might have already given up on Image at that point.
Yeah, that was a weird. That was like where Image was just shooting stuff out.
That's very
And
Red
that was
Monica
just
right
an
there.
obvious red.
That's when
Monica.
he was seriously channeling Joe Matter era there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
super
just like,
anime,
oh, Red Monica's a hot character. I'm going to do a
Yeah.
version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giant
Yeah,
sword,
like-
same kind of giant sword.
I think I have that Battle Chasers around here, like the
Oh,
companion.
dude,
of
I've got
issues.
it's right here up on my wall.
It's
And,
weird that giant sword thing. There's still like American comics is still chasing
Yeah,
that. Like,
so-
like
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
anybody's ever really made it work except for Joe.
So
Well,
Joe,
video
Joe,
games.
Joe,
It's in video, a lot of video games. That's why.
he finished the original run for Battle Chasers, but it didn't do as well as he wanted it to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the whole reason it didn't do as well as you wanted to is because you didn't draw it.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody wanted him to finish it. He got what is it, Ludo Lulabi or whatever his name is.
Didn't look like him at all.
And plus, because Ludo used to look just like him,
Yeah.
but he changed his style, so he doesn't look anything like him now.
Is he the
And
anime guy? Like he drew
Yeah.
like anime style.
very
yeah.
much so. Yeah, he was
super
very
anime on
he was
Battle
very
Chasers.
influenced by anime. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, it's weird. Do you guys remember the Ultimates that Joe did with Jeff Loeb?
Oh,
Yes,
God.
just pencils.
It-
Yep.
With the
Yeah,
creepiest-
it's like I wanted that thing to be good. I could not get into it.
dude,
at
the
all.
artwork was amazing, but the story was weird.
Yeah, like I don't like the Battle Chaser story, to be completely honest. It's very.
It's because
like,
it was
dispersed.
very disjointed, and
Yeah.
it was his first attempt to try and write,
Mhm, mhm.
and cool character designs, cool looking character, like some cool looking stuff.
The action is
just-
awesome.
Yeah. The artwork's fantastic. The story's like, where you going with this, man?
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
happening here?
And
What's happening
the thing was, like, sometimes the market dictates. The market was so blown up back then. Like the
Yeah.
market was so huge, and if you were a guy with a name, you were just putting stuff out
Mhm.
just to put stuff out because there was such a huge demand, such a huge audience for it, and these guys were like, at a certain point, like, and like I would say, like, as much as everybody picks on Rob figured it out, and he's like, I got to get stuff out there because people are just buying whatever I'm putting out.
Yeah, burn and
And, like,
churn.
some of these
Yeah, he
guys were
learned.
like, oh, my artistic blah blah blah, my whatever, and it's like, no, there's such a huge demand. Like hit it while it's hot, and some of them like they missed out an opportunity because
Yeah.
they were almost like too pretentious about it. Like,
I don't know. Like, I
Like,
know that era.
Like the market was so hot back then, and
Rob
like,
should
I
have
think some of them-
penciled 3 books. He should have
Yeah.
penciled 3 books with R. Aiken one, and
Yeah.
then
And the thing is, a lot of
Mickey-
artists are
Mickey and the other.
egomaniacs. A lot of
Yeah.
artists are egomaniacs, and they thought, "Oh, like I'm the reason that this is selling so good." And it's like, no, the market, like this, it's like
I'm
everybody
the boom.
eats this
Yeah.
stuff up. There's a huge market for this. Just go capitalize. Put out product. Put out quality as good as you can, but put it out as fast as you can. Yeah,
You know what? Like in the early
I mean-
days, like Rob and I, like we
Mhm.
broke in about the same time. So I knew Rob before we broke into comics, and so I had an apartment in Huntington Beach, and he used to hang out there because he was still living at home. I mean, he was just like a high school guy
Yeah.
when I first met him, and so he started hanging out with Todd McFarlane, like even before he broke in, and so he was kind of like. He was always like the wise sage when I was just like, I'm trying to learn how to draw. And so was Rob, but he was kind of like what Rob was saying, burn and churn, just get things done. And I remember Rob always like, Todd says, the key is fast. You got to do 2 books. And Ron Lim, believe it or not, Ron Lim was the high bar because Ron could do 2 books a month, right?
I
so-
bet Ron could do 2 books a month.
Yeah, so then it's like you gotta be like that. And then he was always like, he's like, Art, you're getting too like into like drawing. You need to formalize, and you need to get fast at it. So
Yeah.
find a style, formulate it, hone it, and then get quick at it. And
Didn't
I was
Ron
like,
get faster? Art? Did he get faster than that? Like 6 pages a day fast?
no, I don't know if he ever got Ron Lim fast.
No,
But-
I mean Ron. Ron Lim got that fast.
Oh.
Ron Lim, 6 pages a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he
it
was
was-
doing 2 books, and then he kept doing those specialty books like Avengers Vault giant size or
Mhm.
whatever bookshelf or whatever it was.
Wasn't he working?
Yeah.
He was working on some indie book at the same time he was working at Marvel, wasn't he? Like doing
there was
that?
an
Oh, I don't
and
know.
the thing is that gets in the editor's ears. And when an editor gets into crunch time and they know they're kind of screwed, they're like, "Oh, call Ron Lim. He'll save my ass."
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't he
there's a
doing-
need for people like that for sure.
Wasn't he doing? He was doing Spider-Man Unlimited. He was doing Spider-Man Unlimited, X-Men 2099, and something else at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I think he did Surfer and Captain America
At the same time.
And then like Avengers Vault 48 pager, and then another 48 pager because the pretentious artist had dropped out, and he just like had to rip through it like super fast.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey Bob, I was the original inker on Steampunk.
That was a dude. I liked that book.
Oh,
That
we
was
know
cool.
that story.
I got burned, man. I got burned by Chris Bachalo. The thing is,
I love the big shift Chris Bachalo made because he was a Vertigo artist and he was these little like I don't even know what you would call his original art style, but then when he realized the money
Too much
was
black.
over, the money was over in this other, the X books. He tried to turn himself into one of those kind of artists, and they're like he was never going to be one of those artists.
Yeah.
But he,
that
dude,
style's ingrained.
his
That style's ingrained.
that style he developed on Generation X was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, video games started calling when the big checks from Marvel stopped coming in. He would just jump over and do video game stuff. That's why he would do stuff and then he'd be gone, and then he would do stuff and then he'd be gone.
Well, when because I was pretty close with Chris for a couple of years when our daughter was first born, and then he and his wife they were expecting their first child. So there was kind of like they hung out a lot with us to see like what parenthood was like. And I do remember it was like Amanda's birthday or something, and Chris, there was this little white bear or something that they got Amanda, and she was still kind of like on the floor, that kind of like toddler, and so she's playing around with the stuffed toy on the floor, and then Chris is like, "You're getting it dirty." Like he was like he wanted to take the toy from her because she's playing with it on the floor, and I was like, I don't think you're gonna last very long, Dad, with that. But anyway, he was good friends with those Men of Action guys, like
Duncan.
Oh yeah.
Duncan
Yeah.
Rouleau and Steven Seagal
And Joe Casey.
Joe and the two Joes, yeah.
Yeah. Joe Kelly and Joe Casey.
And so I know that when you were saying he would disappear, Rob, those guys are taking care of him for sure.
Oh,
man.
I bet.
Not. He's so freaking good.
Yeah.
His
Joe
studio is
Casey.
killer.
Joe Casey was famous for amazing pitches, but his pacing was horrifically slow. Now he's back again. I wonder if he's learned to speed up his comic book
His
pacing.
wife is Megan Casey, and she is an executive. She was at Kids WB, and last I heard, she was at Nickelodeon.
Oh, so he doesn't really need to.
And the thing is
anything.
nowadays, all these programs are more about the pitch than the actual. Like it's just getting things greenlit with the pitch, and then we'll figure it out as we go along. So if you can come up with a pitch that grabs attention, and the ins and outs of submitting to these people. So I mean, these guys are. I'm sure they're still.
Which is great for TV shows, but not so great when Joe has to write cable.
Yeah,
That was a problem.
That's
when he
probably
was
not
writing
what he's
comic
doing.
books. Well, no, that's what he used to do, because he wrote a lot of stuff for Marvel, including cable.
Yeah. No, he's talented.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like your friends. You know what I mean? It's like your success or your opportunities sometimes are reflective of like who you know.
Oh, that whole group, all those guys. Duncan talked about it all the time. He said most of the work he got from Marvel is because of his buddy writers.
Yeah,
He admitted
I
it.
inked him on X Factor, I think.
I inked him on Alpha Flight. Yeah.
You would look good on him because he's
I-
got like a really dynamic style, and it's not really beholden to any kind of like reality. So you can put like,
No.
really fun
Bouncy.
lines on it, bouncy lines. Yeah, yeah.
Which was what I did for him on Alpha Flight. But he at one point he said, "Hey man," he goes, "I'm off to do video games for 2 months," because he learned he learned the Marvel and DC are good for filling in schedules, but the big money is everybody, the video game companies and animation companies. And I go 2 months. I go, what am I supposed to do for 2 months? He goes, I don't know. And then, like the next day, Steve Sprouse says, hey, you want to ink Gambit, the new
That's
X book.
cool though. He's
so I
that's
just
the
left.
Matrix guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Rob, how much does it hurt emotionally when you realize that your penciler does not care about you?
Here's the thing. What really hurts is this was before cell phones, and now how now we keep our cell phone number forever.
Yeah.
I moved, and Steve didn't have my new contact information now, and this was very early in internet, so I wasn't good about. I should have said, "Hey man, here's my new number." I did not. He's like, "Hey."
Mistake.
He runs into me at San Diego Con 2003 and he goes, dude, we were trying to get you to ink Matrix when we were behind on schedule because they were penciling and inking storyboards. So they look like comic book stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I put my head down and I just started crying.
Yeah.
Let me take this. Let me
the only
take
valid
this.
reaction to that.
Yeah. Stealth X5, tthank you for the $2 super chat. Much appreciated. Hello. You didn't have to throw me $2 for that, but I do appreciate it.
No.
One of those Matrix stories, Rob.
Yeah, you know what? We can throw $2. We can throw $2 at Rob in coins for that Matrix story. Right in the face.
Right in the face, yeah. But my roommate John Moore was writing. He was working on the Flash, the TV show, the first one, and he was working with Howard Chaykin. And he gets a call from one of the Wachowski brothers. And they also ran the show. Like Howard and John, they were the show runners. And so John got this message from one of the brothers. I don't remember which one of the sisters.
One of the sisters.
Were,
the sister brothers.
But the thing is, he never got back to them. He wasn't like one of the things you do in this business is you always get back. Like that's professional courtesy, right? And he didn't get back to the guys. And so then the story, years later, these guys are the Matrix. They're the darlings of Hollywood and comic books. And now he's like, you know what? That would be a good relationship to have. Could you imagine if you gave the Wachowski brothers a break like that and let them? All it would have been one show. One episode of a dying series, right? That thing didn't even go up like one complete series season, right? It wouldn't have cost you anything, but you would have been in for life with the show.
Well, yeah, because that's what Sprouse worked with one of the brothers on that weird Clive Barker comic book that never came out. But the guy
I remember the Clive Barker comic. Yeah.
So he liked working with Steve. So
it's all about connections.
Steve hooked him up with all the storyboards for Matrix. And when they first filmed Matrix, when Neo gets shot in the hallway in episode 1, where the main agent shoots him in the hallway.
Yeah.
And originally that he dies. That's the end of the movie. And people, when they tested it, loved the movie. They're like, oh my God, this movie is going to be the greatest movie of this year. People were like going ecstatic at it. And then they said, except for the ending, you kill the hero in the hallway and that's the end of it. They were so desperate to do reshoots that they actually flew Steve out to do the storyboards. Like they're like, no. If we're going to do these reshoots, we even have to have the storyboard guy to come out for the action reshoots. So he got to fly to Australia. He got to do the rap party, the second rap party with everybody. He says,
the thing is, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to just say he had like a crush on Carrie Ann Moss.
Who didn't?
Yeah.
But the thing is, dude, you remember the Matrix, art book. Like I bought that just for the Steve Scroach like artwork, you know.
Yeah. It was and Steve, and then who's the design? Who did all the design work?
It was Jeff Darrow.
Yeah, it was Jeff Darrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff's killer too. Yeah.
Dude, I have an infuriating story listening to Rob.
Uh-oh.
Like in 2004, 2003, I was working for this ISET commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like it was like a crew from HBO came to Panama. It was a Brazilian director and like everybody international, like we need a storyboard artist. Somebody's like, I know this guy. I go with them around Panama for like a week, drawing and on site, like doing things really fast. The guy's really happy with me. They leave. Like a couple of years pass, and the guy who contacted me, like, yeah, like that Brazilian director was like asking me for your email, but I just didn't feel like giving it to you to him. He's like, oh, I was like, why? Yeah, I don't know. It was this thing like Carnival, and I didn't know it was a big show. I just didn't give him your email. Like, I burned that guy's head.
Little things that could change your entire existence.
Yeah.
Just these little details. Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing about this industry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a good lesson for any young creator is like, don't like get an attitude or like think you're better than the people you're working with. Always be open. Always be like working on comics is like it's a cooperative. It's a group. You're working with other creators too. You always be open minded because you never know who you're going to be working with. Yeah. And like everybody's little career trajectory can like take a shot. And like, all of a sudden they remember working with you and like you were a good dude to work with, and they're doing something. They're like, God, I need somebody. Mm-hmm. Like, oh yeah, like this guy, like he came through always,
right?
And he was a cool dude to work with. And all of a sudden, the next thing you know, and that's the comics is very much that type of industry.
Well, you know what? Like the key to success, I've read several books early on, and it's never a direct route, right? It's never like, oh, I want to work with Steven Spielberg, right? So like, boom, Steven Spielberg. It's always, there's a liaison. There's always a third person. There's always somebody that says, you need to talk to this guy, or have you met this guy? So there's always that person that is the go-between the person for things to work out, like teams, things like that. So always remember that it's not even just that guy that's potentially like the Steven Spielberg guy. It's also just those guys that you're hanging out with. You know what I mean? Because those are the guys, like even if you don't work for them or whatever, but those are the guys that are going to go, hey, I hung out with this guy at the bar at the, in New York, whatever, and he was a good time and he's got a good resume. You should look him up, that type of thing. So
the moral of the story
from anywhere. Oh, go ahead.
The moral of the story to me, like none of you guys has touched on, is like there's no small project ever.
Yeah.
Everything
there's the projects they don't want to pay you. They want to.
Oh yeah, but even
though the end of the book.
Even though some people want to swindle you, and you have to be on the lookout. But if everything's on the level, what you do is your presentation card. So always give it your all, even though you think like, okay, this is like an indie book, like maybe this guy's not doing anything with this. Give it your all. Whatever you're doing.
Truth. Yes, that's the truth. Because
it's like thumbing your nose at the Wachowski brothers.
Yeah.
Well, there's especially in comic books, there's a lot of guys in comics who are very good at networking. They actually fucking suck as artists. So they get a lot of work for like 3 years straight, and then all of a sudden people realize how awful they are. And then you're like, dude, there's your 3 years of work. Are you proud of any of it? Or were you just like, you made a bunch of money, doing way too too many books, and now that's it. Now you're done.
Dilating it in,
Was it that they suck skill wise, or did they just suck like work ethic wise?
It depends. Some guys are really good at just networking, and then they can't get anything done. And then there's, especially when it came to inkers, there was inkers that were great at networking. They were great at buying gifts for their editors for Christmas, but they fucking sucked. They worked hard for 10 years, but you look at their work and and I still look at it and go, boy, that's some shitty inks. Like, what are you proud of, dude? Like,
Yeah.
you made a bunch of money,
And
but are you proud of anything?
It's like any industry. Like, there's varying degrees. You'll get the guys who are just workhorses and are solid at what they do. Maybe not great at what they do, but they're solid at what they do. They hit their deadlines. There are guys that are great talking on the phone with editors or at conventions. There are guys that are exceptionally talented, but then you talk to them on the phone or meet them at a convention, it's super awkward to talk to them. It's always one. It's always one or the other. And then there are the guys who are good at all of the things, and it's like, oh, why is that guy like the biggest star? Because he's exceptionally talented. He's great at talking to the editors on the phone, and he's like hits his deadlines and everything. Yeah. Most people can't pull off all three. It's varying degrees of that, and you hear all these kind of horror stories of
and also trying not to smell like
talented
cheese.
Artist who like just disappeared, quit responding to emails from editors, and you're like, oh, what happened to this guy? And he's like, oh, he just flaked, And there's a lot of artist stories of dudes who just flaked.
Yeah, Ed Bennis would just disappear for 2 weeks, and my editor would start asking me, hey, have you heard from Ed? And I'm like, what? Why would I have heard from Ed?
Yeah, we don't share an apartment.
I thought that was just
Pedro,
because.
Wait. What did you say? It don't smell like cheese? Is that?
Yeah, try to be presentable and not smell like cheese.
Don't smell like cheese.
Yeah, dude. Like I remember, I went to when I was in Vancouver. I went to this like pitch party, and there was a writer that smelled like Kraft cheese that left in the sun.
But if he was famous, he was the big shot. Then it's okay.
Yeah, then he's not disgusting. He's just eccentric.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, whoa.
He's the cheese man.
As long as you're making money for everybody around you, guess what? None of those people care what you smell like.
Yeah, and most of the time you're not even in the same room with these guys. But hey, do you guys think we should get on the topic?
Let's do it.
Do we have a topic?
Yeah, we've been an hour and just rambling. So
talking about artists and whatnot.
The thing about this topic is we should all revel in it. That's why I wanted Mel Rooney to be here. Is because Bob dates back to almost the beginning of the show. Is we've been talking about this stuff from the start, and what we're talking about is Marvel. Well, basically Disney or Marvel, the film division, using the comic book division as an IP farm. And so we've said it in various different ways on this show. And one of the key things is that I know I had said it, that it makes sense because what Marvel can do, like if you look at it as like if they were really trying to make good comics, so they could have made it work, is to try to create the next generation of heroes, right? So you have your actors, so there's limitation to the film. These actors are going to age out at some point, or they're not going to want to renew their contract or whatever happens, right? So you're going to have to remake an Iron Man or a Captain America or whatever. Either you remake them or you get a new character that you can make as popular as those. And so I thought, okay, well, it's relatively inexpensive by film standards to make a comic book. So you could try out these new ideas within the comics. So I thought, yeah, it makes sense. And then keep in mind, this is years ago. Marvel started introducing some of their agenda, but it wasn't like as crazy as it is now. And so, you could actually see it as a sound business move, right? If they were trying to make good comics and gave the creators like full range, like they did in the 70s, like when we got Ghost Rider and Brother Voodoo, and all those characters, that could work. But that's not what they did. And so it was micromanaged, it was editorial driven, all that stuff, and they got a bunch of crappy stuff out of it.
Yeah, because
in theory, it does work. Go ahead, Bob. I'm sorry.
I said the big problem is we knew that none of this was to enrich the comic book industry. None of it was to create new stuff for the comic book industry, to build the comic book industry up, and so that it would be healthy and it would continue, it would grow. It was all about other mediums.
Well, it became very clear over like a short period of time that that's what they were doing, because the comic books sucked. But the idea, if you're actually still setting out to make good comic books, you could have created a win-win scenario. But that's not what they did.
It was basically once Disney bought Marvel, it was beginning before that, but because once the movie started being big business, it started shifting that direction. But once Disney bought Marvel, the comic book division was only there to farm, to create new IPs for other mediums.
Yeah,
and they don't care about everything else.
Yeah, it wasn't just like new characters; it was also new ideals. Okay, let's bring some agenda in. So instead of like fighting like a supervillain, they're going to be fighting some kind of social injustice or whatever it is, So they started bringing these things into it. So they weren't just like going, okay, this is Kamala Khan or Riri Williams or what are these characters?
Or Shaka Khan.
Yeah, or Shaka Khan. Love you, Shaka Khan. Chaka.
And that's actually one of the examples they give in the article too.
Yeah. So it came with ideology. It wasn't just a new character.
Yeah.
It was like a new like it was a new big bad, And so another reason why they're so pissed off with this Donald Trump thing is they had a lot of hope and dollars sunk into this, like this dystopian world with Donald Trump in it, for it to always be there, right? They always wanted that to be there because that was their big bad. You know what I mean? That was their Galactus. And now it's not. It's like people are starting to dig it and starting to love.
Oh, they're still doing, like they just released a Wonder Woman comic. It's Wonder Woman versus the White House.
Oh,
yeah, they're still trying to do it.
Yeah.
I like that DC is really late to the game, because remember early on we were like, DC books still, they don't have any of this agenda, blah blah blah. And then a few years later it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, Jim's just like 3 years behind everybody.
Yeah. So how do you guys feel about this, man? This actually did happen. Well, go ahead.
My question for you, since you've seen the Hollywood side a little bit, is does this change writers and their contracts? Because now you have a group editor at Marvel actually admitting that the comic books are just there for the animation and the TV shows. So if you're a writer, why are you writing for $2,000 a month or whatever they're paying? Like it might even be lower. How much Marvel might be paying a writer to write that shit that they're writing? Like, who's going to write anything good or create any new characters if you're like, dude, they just admitted
they're incapable of doing that anyway, because the current 90% of the current crop of talent
don't write anything.
They don't want to. They'll write anything they want because they don't want to be in the comic book industry. The industry they want to be in is the one that this stuff is being created for.
Well, I also think like they're not necessarily creating this stuff out of whole cloth. I do think there is editorial, there is an agenda that's being passed down, to the talent. So they're just kind of puppets carrying out orders. But we should back up a little bit with this article. So if there's anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, will know. So this is Abounding into Comics, right? You have it there, Bob. You want to just kind of give us a little
they were talking to, I believe it was Tom Brevoort.
Yeah.
And like he says, in a sad, if not expected moment for the artistic integrity of the overall media, Marvel Comics executive editor Tom Brevoort has finally confirmed fans' long-held assumption, we've been saying this for years, and fear that the publisher's operation now exists primarily to serve as a content farm for Marvel Studios television and film ambitions. So all these years when they were saying, no, you guys are just a bunch of angry boomers, you're full of crap. No, you're racist. Like, but insert istophobia here. And now they're just flat out coming out and admitting it because the freaking industry sucks.
So
Yeah.
do you think any new characters are just like editorial creates?
Exactly.
Like-
Yes, dude.
like, yeah.
Look at what they're doing with the X-Men. They're literally going back and they're redoing giant-sized X-Men, but they're shoving in all these DEI characters to change the history of the X-Men.
Yeah.
So because what's happening here? What's the next phase for Marvel? They're going to start introducing the X-Men to the movies, and they don't want to do the old stuff. They want to create the new stuff, and literally the main character on the cover is Kamala Khan.
Yeah. And if you think about it from a Disney point of view, whatever they create now, they will own, outright. You know what I mean? So it's not like they have to pay the Kirby estate or they have to pay, Stan Lee or Rob Liefeld or any of these guys.
Yeah.
They'll own this stuff whole cloth.
And also any of the fans who want to see like the classic X-Men, new classic X-Men stories in the comics, Cyclops, Wolverine, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Storm, Phoenix, Banshee, like the kind of, what we kind of remember as the classic X-Men. They don't want to do any of that because all of those storylines have been pilfered so hard already. So none of the new creators are going to want to do that because there's no financial incentive for them to write stories about those characters. So you're not going to get any of the, even classic Avengers, they're not going to want to write Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Wasp, Giant Man, Vision, Wanda stories because they've already done that stuff. So they're going to try and create this new crap, and we've seen what the new crap is. We've had 20 years of this new crap that they put out. Try and find something you can make a movie out of the new woke Marvel, but that's where their incentive is for the creators.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Like this page right here is an indication of the stuff. You've got Cyclops. It doesn't even really look like Cyclops, and you've got this is supposed to be Psylocke, and then you've got three characters that most people don't know who they are and don't give a shit about.
Yeah,
and it's unrecognizable.
Well, the X-Men have always okay, we're going to introduce new characters, and that what was part of the fun. Joe Mad would come in and create new characters, or Jim Lee,
right.
Rob Liefeld,
but that continuity was always there.
But the thing is, they weren't created as an agenda. They weren't created as an editorial mandate. They were just kind of created, like it was just the process, the creative process. And now I think this stuff is so micromanaged and created. It's like there's a mandate, and then there's a character that they slot into the mandate, versus creating a character and letting them evolve over time, which is what they don't do anymore.
Yep. And they literally give examples of Thor, Love and Thunder, Riri Williams, from inserted into Kamala Khan. Like this is the stuff that they're focusing on now.
Yeah, and I knew, and we talked about it. We knew they would, eventually start interjecting this stuff into the film. But the thing is, they even screwed that up. They didn't do that in a very successful way, like the way they were piggybacking other characters on successful franchises. As soon as they went Miss Marvel, because they did attach that to a successful franchise, after that, it was done, right? Because she was not a successful franchise. So she couldn't do the same thing for Kamala Khan or any of Riri Williams or any of these other things.
If they thought Miss Marvel was a bomb, just put out a Riri Williams Ironheart Disney Plus show.
It's gonna, it's gonna tank.
I hope Disney pumps a bunch of money into that Riri Williams show to just show us all how wrong we are.
I'll give you an idea. I actually saw the new Captain America movie. Okay.
I'm looking forward to watching it.
I got it for free, dude. Don't
Don't judge me.
My friend paid for it. I didn't pay for it.
How is it?
But it was dog shit.
Oh.
It's the first 10 minutes of it is actually decent. And that, but it's so.
I bet they reshot it. Those are
you could tell they can lie all they want and say, "Oh no, we just had one reshoot." Bullshit.
Rob said there's 4.
There was 4 reshoots. There was 3 major reshoots and then 2 major reshoots and then 2 regular ones.
Yeah.
But you can tell they literally like it feels like 3 different movies in one.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's so it's like they took every hanging plot point from every other movie
And it just
that was
tied 'em
still there
off.
that didn't do well, and they
Yeah.
shoved it all into this movie. And then also we're like, we
It's
want to do
explainer
an
movie.
Incredible Hulk movie, but we don't have the rights to the Hulk, so we'll just make it Captain America.
Oh,
And it's
I
so
heard
bad.
it is more of a Hulk movie actually than it is
It
Sam
really is.
Wilson or Captain America movie. Yeah.
And the whole big hook of it, like the Red Hulk's he's in it for 7 minutes.
But the character, like they referenced the first, the Ed Norton.
They referenced the Edward Norton movie. They finally answer the question that's been hanging for about 4 or 5 years: is why does nobody talk about this giant celestial freaking head sticking out of the Indian
what
Ocean?
happened to the leader? What happened to that guy?
Yeah, the leader looks awful.
Yeah,
He looks
like
like
a broccoli head.
He looks like a chunk of broccoli.
Yeah, he has it's like he's just a really bad.
And his motivation is stupid.
Oh,
It's like he's there, and then it's it. That's it.
Well, he just wants to get Ross back.
Yeah, he just wants to get even. That's it.
Yeah. And the thing is, like the whole emotional story arc is all Thaddeus Ross.
Yeah.
Because of his estranged
Relationship with his daughter.
And all that stuff. And I mean, that's the thing about these movies is they don't. When you start having to go out of your way, like creative gymnastics, to try to create characters that have already been created, that they already exist organically within a universe, and then you're like, no, we're going to do something better, then it's always going to be awkward, forced, and weird, right? Like they couldn't do the Hulk successfully, so they did this weird kind of shorthand Hulk. Okay, they couldn't, like Sam Wilson as Captain America was a bad idea from Inception, right?
Yep.
So instead of like just ditching the idea, they doubled down on it and they're like, we're going to force this on you regardless. We're going to make this work. You can't make it work. It doesn't work. Like the whole thing they did with Sam Wilson is like, oh, you know what? He's not going to take the super soldier serum. You know what his superpower is? He's a really good guy.
Yeah.
What?
Dude, there's like 6 or 7 times. There's literally like 6 or 7 times in this movie I'm watching this going, he's dead.
Right.
He should be dead right now. Just the freaking shockwave.
Well, just the poster. Yeah, the poster where the shield and the red fist is hitting the shield. The shield will absorb a lot of it,
But not all.
It'll break his arms.
Yeah, the force would have drove him right into the ground. You know what I mean? Because there is still force behind it. So
no, vibranium absorbs all that energy. Yeah, it does. That's the point of vibranium.
But here's it's
a magic.
You know the Hulk shockwave, the slapping his hands like the shockwave like is like a freaking bomb going off.
Yes.
He does that with Sam standing like 50 feet in front of him.
No.
Wait, is this Sam with his Black Panther / Iron Man / Falcon armor?
It's okay. The Black Panther
armor
stuff is only in the helmet and the wings. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, so the rest
He doesn't have like an armor suit or anything like that.
Oh, because some of those teasers that look like he's just like he's flying around with Iron Man.
It's like he's got like Ant-Man's helmet, friggin' vibranium wings.
So the thing is, you can't be right, Rob, because there are times when even Captain America is feeling the force of whatever it is when he's getting like blasted. So if there is any kind of resistance to the shield, then there is
there's plenty of Captain America comics where he jumps off of a building with the shield on his feet.
Right.
About the movie.
I'm talking about comic books. I'm talking about comic books.
No, but in Civil War, or was it Winter Soldier, when he jumped of like 10 stories, and he fell down. He felt
Yeah, he
that.
felt
Yeah,
it.
yeah, he landed hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
So maybe the comic books, but in the film lore, they haven't really got into that.
Yeah, it's
Because
more
if
limited.
that was the case, then Captain America could just flow through anything, right? If that shield's going to absorb every bit of kinetic energy, then it would just be like he would be running through an atomic blast and nothing would happen.
The big problem with the movie, though, is that like even though you could tell Harrison Ford is phoning it in, he's the best part of the whole freaking movie.
It is
course.
the movie.
He really is the main character of the freaking movie.
Yeah.
And everything else is just like the new Falcon dude is annoying as shit.
Oh,
He's got the worst costume in the history of friggin' Marvel movies.
Oh, Bob,
El Halcón Mexicano.
Yeah, to your point, Danky Frankie says it would shatter his eardrums at the very least.
Yeah. Dude,
He should be mush. You kidding me?
But even just without that, it's just like the movie doesn't make any sense. It's like I said, it feels like it's 3 different friggin' movies in one, and none of them are brought to any kind of like a conclusion. The after credit scene is the most vague shit you've ever seen in your life.
Of course.
And it's like,
spoiler, tell us.
you want me to spoil it?
Nobody's gonna watch the movie.
Okay,
anymore.
I am.
Okay, you remember
movies.
All right, Rob. All right, Rob. We'll fix this. All right, tell us.
Okay, you remember the raft from the prison in the middle of the ocean that everybody was on at the end of Captain America? Civil War?
The prison.
Okay, Ross, which I don't know why he would do this because it's not like it was his fault. Basically, steps down as the president and turns himself in to custody. They put him in the prison. I'm like, it's not his fault. He didn't do anything. The way the leader turns him into the friggin' rug is friggin' stupid. Basically, he puts shit in his heart medicine. He's been literally his heart medicine he's been taking for years has been altered by the friggin' leader to slowly turn him into the Red Hulk.
Wait, this is Thunderbolt Ross.
This
like
is
the
Thunderbolt.
point of him becoming Red Hulk is because he needs to become Red Hulk because all the other superhumans he can't control.
Right.
And now they've just twisted that into someone
it's
tricked him
his
into
heart
becoming Hulk.
meds. Yeah, it's his heart meds.
So they ruined that. They ruined it.
They completely ruined it.
The whole motivation of being Red Hulk in the first place.
Yeah, the
Marvel.
Red Hulk part. So they just went with like some kind of personal
Generic
story arc
bullshit.
where he's on the roads to make amends to his daughter. And so like one of the things is like by being the president of the United States, I proved to my daughter that I'm a good person. It's like there's been a lot of shitty presidents, dude.
They're all shitty presidents.
But at the end of the movie, he's in the raft, and Betsy shows up, and she's like, "Oh, Dad," and I'm like, "This is it. This is the thing." And then friggin' Sam is talking to the leader, and the leader's like, it's this vague thing. He's like, just wait until what happens next, and that's it. That's what that's the end of the friggin' that's the after credit scene.
Okay, you got to answer, Danky Frankie. Why does the leader want Ross to be powerful?
He's trying to he wants revenge on Ross. He wants to discredit him.
Well,
And here's the thing. Also, so the big assassination plot wasn't meant to assassinate him.
it was just to turn him.
It was just meant to create stress within him and slowly turn him into the Red Hulk, and also to put all the pieces into place so that he can. The whole thing is he wants him at the end. He wants him to turn the Red Hulk so he can embarrass him.
So, but Ed, we had to put the Red Hulk in prison by the end of the show because the CGI is too expensive.
Right.
Oh, dude, and there are moments.
You know what, Bob? This was always my problem with like Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Smallville, right? Okay, so you have these high school students, right? And they're picked on, they're whatever their backstory is, right? So as soon as they get superpowers, they don't do like what Buffy does. They become evil.
That's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
Right. And so they all become bad, but they're petty bad, right?
Yeah.
It's like, they couldn't get a date with the cheerleader, so they're going to show her, right? Listen, you have the power of a god now. You could do anything. This high school shit is so beneath you. you could go take over the entire world.
You
But
could
all
literally
you can
become
think
the
about
hero.
is getting with this girl, you know?
Yeah, like if all you want some trim, you could go out and become the hero, and they'll throw themselves at you.
Yeah. Well, also, you know, what's funny is there's a show, there's a YouTube channel, Talkville, where it has Lex Luthor and it has Clark Kent talking about those episodes. And the joke of every episode is how many people die. Like, dude, are we running out of people in Smallville? Because every episode, like 2 people die. Clark saves 3 people. It's amazing. Like this, people would be rushing out of Smallville. The amount of people who die every episode.
Would be a ghost,
also, the premise is so weak. It's like, oh, well, there's a bunch of kryptonite in Smallville area, and it's turning everybody into superpowered beings. It's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like everybody turns into a vampire, right?
Because of the Hellmount. Yeah,
the Hellmount, right? And so then it's like, and every one of those high school students that gets turned, they just want some stupid thing like, I want to be the basketball star. You know what I mean?
The vampire basketball star. Yeah.
At least with Buffy saying that the Hellmount is in that town, at least explains why there's so many vampires and so many demons always in that town because of the Hellmount. Like Smallville, like having that much kryptonite and no one notices. Like every episode, it's in the lake. It's in a giant
chunk of green,
and in Buffy, they all like somehow when they become vampires, they know karate. Like the first thing is like,
dude, I remember an episode of that where they actually they were so tired of people saying that like she starts talking to the vampire dude, recognize her. He goes, "Oh, hey, you're so and so." She goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Wait, so you're so?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "So what did you do after graduation?" "Oh, you know, I started working on myself. Got into karate in a big way."
that was good writing for the time. The Joss Whedon thing is it's been played to death, but you know where you would actually like whatever the viewer was thinking, they would actually write it in. So if the person was thinking, oh, this is a cheesy looking werewolf, you know, like one of the characters
would say it,
this is really you're like a weak looking werewolf or whatever it was. And the thing about like that Buffy show is the timing was almost perfect. So if I was watching it and just about the time I was like, this isn't working, this would happen, right? Boom, it would happen like clockwork. And those first couple seasons were pretty darn good.
The thing about this Captain America movie, though, man, is like you've got a character like the leader who's supposed to be this brilliant mastermind, and he comes up with the most basic bitch form of friggin' revenge.
Yeah,
that you possibly.
It's what we're talking about, Smallville, and
it's like, and I'm just like, this guy's supposed to be a threat. He's basically the prom queen who got jilted.
Yeah,
but that's the thing, bro.
He's the leader. He's not like this stupid, like you know, just like he's got the muscle. This guy's supposed to be smart, right?
Yeah.
But the villain is gonna be as smart as the writer is.
And the other, like Giancarlo Esposito's character. Dude, you could tell that they brought him in at the last second to just shoehorn into this movie because they make him out to be like a big deal. Again, he's got 3 scenes in the entire movie.
Yeah. Oh no.
3 scenes in the entire movie, and he's playing exactly the same character he always plays. He's playing himself.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's playing the Gus Fring character.
Is he fried chicken in the movie?
I swear to God, I was waiting for him to like talk about death.
Yeah.
But
I have a question. So is the Celestial, are the countries of the world fighting over the dead Celestial?
Basically, the whole thing is Ross's big move is he's created a coalition of nations to share the resources because one of the resources they find in the movie adamantium. Yeah, that they're finally putting it into the freaking MCU because they got to do it to bring Wolverine in.
Yeah,
and it's like, and that's basically that's where they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it out of the Celestial's head.
So, of course.
It's like,
which is an idea that they've already used in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So just remember that. Well, I forget the place.
Nowhere.
It's basically they're mining that Celestial's head. You know. It's like,
But it's-
okay, you guys have already done it. Let's move on.
And that's the thing with that movie is like they've got a bunch of member berries in it, but it's member berries that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah.
You know, it's stuff that we're like, yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah.
You know, like
You know what? You know how we were talking about the Fantastic Four trailer, I think last show.
I wasn't here for that. I wanted to be here because I had.
Yeah, I started thinking about that movie, and if I think Clint had the inside track on that, where it's a different universe, and
Yes.
somehow they're gonna work. It's like a universe that had the Fantastic Four in it, so the Fantastic Four kind of helped create that reality. And so then the Galactus is going to come in. He's going to eat that timeline or that planet,
eat it.
and then somehow they're going to come into the cinematic universe that they've already.
Will they?
established.
Don't they have the dimensional thing they can escape through?
Once
Fantastic
they
Four, they
did
have
quantum, once they
Well,
did
I'm
Quantumanium,
sure they'll bring that into the story somehow. And one of the things, as I think Clint was talking about, is that they were originally from that timeline, but when they went out in space, they went somewhere else. And so when they came back, kind of Planet of the Apes style, they were in a different world. It was their world, but it wasn't their world, right?
Yeah.
So if Galactus comes and eats their world, then they're going to be back where they should have been all along. But so it's an interesting idea, right? I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But think about this for investment purposes. You're going to lay down your money. You're going to watch it for 2 hours, and then everything that you got invested in for 2 hours, that world that they created,
It's not going to matter.
it's gonna be gone.
Well, you're
All
hoping
those
that you
characters are
invest
gonna
in the
be dead.
characters. The Fantastic Four.
Right, but there's going to be a universe around them, so all that stuff is going to be gone. All I'm saying is you're going to end your movie that way.
Yeah.
That's even worse than like Star Wars, where they blew up Alderaan. Like that was early on in the story, and then the story was they were going to try to prevent that from happening to somebody else, right?
Mhm.
Right.
But
That's not what this story is.
Art-
I mean, I think it'll eventually kind of become that, where the Fantastic Four somehow in the cinematic universe that we know is going to have to fight Galactus on some kind of level to stop it from happening again.
But it's gonna be a multiverse thing.
Yeah, you've got a good point, but think of it even as a bigger level. They're all setting up for a reset.
Yes.
And like all of these movies. And like, and I knew this all along as soon as they introduced the multiverse. And in a way it's a good thing, in a way it's a terrible thing, because it's like all of a sudden, okay, these movies don't matter. But from a corporate standpoint, you don't want 60-year-old Tony Stark. You don't want 44-year-old Captain America.
Recast.
We do want a
to recast
60-year-old
these
Tony
roles.
Stark. They just
Yeah.
don't want to pay him $100 million.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't mind paying them the money, but you need to have younger actors come in eventually, because they're gonna milk Marvel to the fucking bone.
Here's the
because
thing,
it's
though.
making them money.
This is the problem with that though. They're not going to recast the characters that everybody likes. They're going to try to shoehorn these other characters in that nobody gives a shit about. They're already talking about the two
actors back. They're going to get Chris Evans
Like
back.
Wiccan? Yeah.
No, but that's only going to be for one. That's only going to be for those two last movies, which is the
Okay.
multiverse thing. And then after that, it's going to be a soft reboot
Is that
of
Secret
the universe,
Wars,
but
Bob?
it's not. But they're not going to. Yeah, Secret Wars and the Doomsday.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like with Wolverine, the new X-Men movie. I'm looking forward. I like Hugh Jackman. I think finally we got a good Wolverine. I never saw the Old Man Logan one, but with Deadpool, I thought that
That's
was
good.
the best kind of classic, Wolverine from the comics, right? With the full yellow suit, the blue, all that stuff. So we finally got that. So I'm done. Okay, Hugh Jackman's getting old. I want to see young actors.
Okay,
come
but the
in
thing is
playing
they're
those
not.
X-Men
They're
characters.
not going to do a new Captain America or a new or Iron Man. They're going to shoehorn these other characters into their place.
Yeah,
Okay,
but that's
and it's
not,
gonna suck because that people don't want those characters. They want Iron Man. They want Captain America. They want Thor. They want the big hitters. They don't want Riri Williams.
I could
Or
do a
Echo?
super dark Riri Williams. She's fighting ninjas. It'd
I
be
mean,
awesome.
they
Blood
can,
and gore.
They can do that.
He
And
can be nothing but dark, Rob.
No, that's all I have. That's all I have.
Don't
Texture
take that from
card.
me, man.
they could have
Don't
done
take
that.
it from me.
They
No.
could have done that if the other guy stood down, like the Endgame story suggested, and who was the Black Panther actor?
Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick.
If Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P., if he could have made it through, I think they could have continued with the core. The second, the B levels, the Scarlet Witch, the Falcon.
They were definitely setting up Chadwick to be the Tony Stark.
The main
role.
character.
That guy had charisma.
America. Yeah,
As
because
Black
he had
Panther?
He was gonna be leading the Avengers in this in the era of where we are right now. Like they were setting that up, and that I mean obviously through more than just
the thing
movies.
is, okay, let me throw this out to you guys, okay? They've done it before, but Hollywood somehow has like these selective, like where they'll do it, where they won't do it, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so they've replaced actors just because of salary disputes, right?
Oh yeah,
So like the first
multiple times in the
The
MCU.
first War Machine.
Yeah, like
The
War
first War
Machine.
Machine.
They did it with the Hulk.
How many
they-
Bruce Banners have we had?
Yeah, they've
Great.
done it. They've done it several times, right? And other movies and other franchises have done these things too, right? And nobody really, as long as the actor is either as good or better, you won't mind it, right? As long as the writing's still good and all that stuff is intact, nobody will really mind. Look at how many Batmans there have been. Look at how many 007s there have been.
Oh yeah,
The
they want the MCU to be that.
Right. So the thing is, they want it to be that, but they don't have the cojones to actually do it. Okay, so the thing is, if these guys are either, becoming out of control, you can't deal with them, or they're aging out, do a talent search, man. Do it before these guys hit the
Do your
wall,
due diligence
right?
and find the right person.
Find somebody to replace, Chris Evans. There's got to be somebody out there that's just as good, if not better, than Chris Evans. And then just don't even say anything. Just fucking do it. Make it matter of fact, like they did with Rhodey. Just do it and then move on.
Matter of fact, and nobody even notices on screen.
Right.
Okay.
And the thing is, like they did that with when they went because I've been watching these 007 documentaries, and when they brought that the guy
Moore?
he did one Bond film. He
Roger
was
Lazenby.
Oh,
Lazenby, yeah.
Lazenby.
And so the one thing is, everything was like it was a continuation. The story, everything from like where the Sean Connery 007 left off, but they had to make a crack. Like I'm better than the last guy, or there was some kind of inside joke that just ruined the whole facade. Right? They couldn't help it. They had to do it. And my thing is, as long as it's matter of fact, right? Don't say anything and just continue it. You can do it, right? So the thing is, like, what I really wanted to see is I love Chadwick Boseman. I think he was a great, find.
Black Panther,
They should have replaced the guy with another actor. And they should have did a big old at the beginning of the movie, say, in memory of
memoriam.
Boseman, whatever, have a big to do, and then just fucking do it. And don't talk about it behind the scenes. Don't say anything. Just leave it and let people figure it out, right? People will move past it if it's good. But if it's really shitty, which is what they ended up doing anyways with the sister, like what the fuck was that? That was never gonna work.
That movie
Right?
was garbage.
Oh,
It
they
is.
should have picked the big guy. The big guy from the Gorilla Tribe? He would have been an awesome, slower but stronger Black Panther.
Or his brother,
Or bring back the dead guy.
Killmonger.
Yeah, Killmonger would have been awesome as a like. You'd always have to hold him back because he's gonna try to kill everybody.
And
Yeah.
that would be like a great redemption arc too.
Yeah, and his sister could always be trying to hold him back. Go no,
Mhm.
but don't give her the Black Panther costume. Give her. She already has the Sonic glove things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or if you're
It
going to
would've
do
been
that,
cool.
or if you're going to do that, have her try to go keep the mantle going in for my brother, that type of thing. If you're going to play that beat,
It
right?
failed though desperately.
Yeah, exactly.
Terribly.
And then this Killmonger sees it, and he can't stand seeing her getting her
Yeah,
ass.
he comes back from the dead to save her ass.
So, like, you're embarrassing the
And-
family. Yeah.
And not once do we have to have Namor, who's been underwater
Not
with
Neymar.
with no
Namor.
technology for some
Namor.
reason.
Yeah,
No more. Yeah.
nothing. But anyway,
Yeah.
like we were saying, I feel, because we're going to wind this down. The
Yeah.
pontificators have been pontificating this stuff for years now. We saw the writing on the wall, as other YouTubers did as well.
Yeah.
And it's Tom Brevoort finally, it's come out. He said it. You can't take back that basically it's an IP farm. And not that there's anything innately wrong with that,
Mhm.
but what they gave us was just mediocre, not even mediocre, really, really bad characters,
Shitty.
bad
Yeah.
stories, bad takes on everything. And I understand Marvel and Disney taking a chance with the comic books, right? I understand that. It's less expensive. Let's try these ideas out in the comic. But the thing that I find amazing about all this shit, and Bob Iger is a fucking moron. They should fire him. The stockholders should fire that guy. He is horrible to everything we know and love, right? And because of that, it's like, okay, you put out Riri Williams. Well, how many times did that fail in the comics? You bring in Kamala Khan. How many times did that? What was her name? The one girl that was in the Doctor Strange movie, the Portal.
America Chavez.
America
Chavez.
Never caught on. Like, you tried, but you failed. So if this was an experiment to see if these things were successful or not, okay, they weren't successful. So at that point, you kind of drop it and keep trying to create new stuff, right? And make it.
I have one point to make though. Out of all this conversation of replacing characters, who's going to replace Nicolas Cage as the Ghost Rider?
As Ghost Rider. I think Nicolas Cage should replace Nicolas Cage.
Exactly.
But anyway, like the thing is, if this was
CGI
a way,
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, exactly.
if this was a way of trying to like do things inexpensive, like R&D, right? Well, you did it.
They failed. They ignored the R&D.
Yeah. Right, and it failed,
Mm.
but you didn't learn anything from it. You doubled down. That's why I said Bob Iger, because that's what he does. Is he doubles down on the agenda. He doubles down on these bad fucking ideas. And the more people complain, and the more the numbers plummet, that like gives him power. Like that somehow gets him off, and then he just keeps going, doubling down, doing it over and over and over again. And that's the fundamental problem. Like if you could create something like they did in the 70s, like Ghost Rider, right? Out of whole cloth, brand new character, boom, catches on, sells, everybody loves it. Howard the Duck, that type of thing.
We'll see, and they're just still scraping the surface on this, but we'll see. Doge has already uncovered so much DEI spending. There were 700,000 subscriptions to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
The subscriptions, and they're finding these ways, and it's all this DEI bullshit from the Biden era. And money talks, and they were getting paid off to push the DEI, ESG bullshit.
ESG, exactly.
And when we saw it, we knew it was unnatural. We knew it wasn't authentic. We knew this wasn't like what viewers were looking for or what audiences were looking for. We knew it was forced on the public, and more of it's going to come to light. And I mean, I think that's the majority of. They were bought and paid for to do this. And now they're gonna have to pay the price.
Bob
Yeah.
and I are going to launch Captain Diversity if we could get $100,000 a book
Yeah.
from USAID.
Get us
I
some
think
of that
it's a great
good-
idea.
Clint,
I think
that
it's
was
a
a
great
that was a
idea.
great addition. That's where I was going to go. You said it better than I could with that ESG and all that other stuff. Things are like the tide is shifting. Let's hope that maybe we can get. And you said authenticity.
Wait, can't we
and-
get paid first before the tide shifts?
You
I missed out on the boom. Now I'm going to.
You should have done it last year, Rob.
Captain Diversity, man.
It was going to be incredible.
Okay,
He
yeah,
was gonna
hey. He'll be from the Dominican Republic, so he can be black and Hispanic.
He was going to be effeminate but powerful.
Yes.
Just say it's from an alternate universe, and
With-
it'll be fine.
With bisexual kids
Hmm.
And they're all super powered.
and a gay
I
dog.
want that
Gay
book
dog.
already.
A gay
Yeah.
dog whose transition surgery is being paid for by
You know
USAID.
what? Even better.
Yes,
A gay goldfish.
Oh, that would be the best. Who talks?
Yeah. A gay
my God.
goldfish.
Yeah,
Sassy goldfish.
It's like
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss. But the thing is, you guys, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of feeling a little vindicated. Thank you so much, Tom Brevoort, for giving us a win today.
Saying the quiet part out loud.
And now we are going to pitch some crazy cool books that are not Marvel. They are not DC. They are not woke. They are not shitty. They are from the heart. And we have put everything we have into it. And I'm going to start with this book that is going to be closing down very, very soon. So this is my art book. This is Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. We are probably, I'm thinking end of next month. And if there's anybody that wants a commission, I'm just kind of teasing this out there. If you want, let me know. Message me. Maybe I'll make a post. Let me know if I should make a tier available for backing. Let me play this video.
Hey, Art, I'm being summoned. I gotta take off.
All right, Bob. Thank you.
Art teachers, Oodles of Doodles, and other stuff too is
I appreciate it, man. You gone?
a 60-page, 9x12 hardbound book that will be printed on thick glossy stock paper and is a compilation of artwork from award-winning artist Art T-Bear.
That's me.
This book is filled with images that come from Art's Marvel, DC, Image, and Comicsgate work. That includes convention doodles, commissions, creator-owned IPs, and pop culture subjects that Art has brought to life with his masterful draftsmanship. Art T-Bear's signature style is both lyrical and meticulously realized. The mastery of craft, seen in his work, owes itself to his 40 years in the comic industry, as well as viewing life through his own love of the art form itself. Fans of art prints have the opportunity to back one or both of the mini print tiers. Both are stunning collections of work that you can back individually or together as a bundle. Art T-Bear's Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. Back it now on Indiegogo.
Yeah, you guys, back tonight. Like I said, we're going to be closing very, very soon. When I come back, I'll put a link in the chat there. You guys, this is 40 years of me honing a craft. Actually, 40 years. Fuck, how long have I been doing this? 30
How old
years.
are you, Art?
40
years. Oh my
40
god.
years.
No, it hasn't been
It's been 40 years.
40.
When did you start? 80 when? When was your first pro?
Yeah, it was early 80s, man. It was like
82?
82, 83. Yeah.
That's 40 years.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Anyways, you guys, there's a lot of experience in this book. There's a lot of cool drawings. And this isn't like some of those art books where they'll take one image and they just make a splash out of it. This has got like a bunch of images in this book. So you can see some of the page layouts here. So it's not like I took that William Shatner page and just use that over and over again. No, there's a lot of other drawings, sketches, behind the scenes stuff that's here. You can see this development work in progress cover I did for Mr. William Tucci. And so, of course, there's all these cool prints that you can back as well. There's the Del Keown pit print that is available in only 2 tiers. So, you guys, there's a bunch of stuff to choose from.
43 years.
How much? 40?
43 years, Art. I actually used a calculator to make sure.
Oh my
43
God.
years.
Yeah, well, here's the link, you guys. Click on it. Who's got Clint? You got yours ready?
Yep. I can play mine.
All right, let's go. Blue Bombshell, baby.
Blue Bombshell.
I love the way this starts.
That's awesome.
It's so innocent. Whoa, what? Boner!
Knockers of Justice.
You got some fans there, Clint.
Oh yeah.
Well, give us the pitch now.
Blue Bombshell. Knockers of Justice is a apt description of her, but I'm drawing the book right now. February and March are pretty much going to be me working on the book. I'm having a blast with it. I'm drawing a bunch of like cool new characters. Like I'm literally creating like bad guy characters as I'm. Today I drew Baron von Brimstone, Gold Tiger, Zombie Beast. Who else was in there? The Electrocutioner, Crackhead. Like these are some of the bad guys in there. They're being coordinated by Doctor Dictator. Is there's like all kinds of
no, not Dr. Dick.
Dictator. Yeah. So I'm just having a blast with it, having fun drawing it. I'll probably in a week or two I'll start like previewing more of the artwork online, like before we get to the big final closeout. I'm probably gonna put out like a 5-page preview before I do the big closeout, put it out on Twitter, do email blasts out to everybody so they can kind of because these books take a while, and just kind of get re-jazz up everybody's excitement about the book with a nice preview. But yeah, a lot of artwork being done right now. It's a lot of fun to work on. So if you haven't checked out Blue Bombshell, go check it out now. Back it. It's going to be a ton of fun. I got
Hey, Pedro, real quick, get that animation up again, and we'll show it.
I actually have a surprise, but
all right,
give me 1 second.
Well,
Yeah,
we're still on Clint right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
I got the proof copies of Pirate Queen versus Slave Girl in.
Nice.
Just today. So proofed them, sent the approval out. So all the books are going to be showing up here. Shipping is going to start before the end of February. So everything's moving like clockwork, like it has for the past 4 to 5 years. So don't worry about not getting your books. All this stuff just keeps moving through. I've done this multiple times. I ran multiple campaigns. No worries about that. Shipping's going to happen. The new book's getting done. Launching The Bad Guy. The Bad Guy is going to be my next book.
Ooh.
I'm going to be launching The Bad Guy in April. The pitch on The Bad Guy is, what if James Bond was a douchebag that wasn't competent enough to save the world, and then you had to rely on the bad guy to actually save the world? So like, there's always that bad guy, like James Bond was always a pompous kind of douche, and if he was just so full of himself that he kind of lost the thing and is like, oh, okay, I'm not going to save the world this time. it comes down to the bad guy saving the world, and that's what the concept of this next comic is.
Cool.
That's fun.
So the
That's
bad
great.
guy has to like kind of pick up the James Bond's jock because he's just kind of too much of a moron to like pull it off himself. So
That's great. That's something to look forward to, you guys. So Pedro, you have that?
Yeah. Sure.
All right, you guys. Pedro Ang has got a great YouTube channel. He does this type of work now in his animation dojo. Look at that.
Yep. So I was working
So
on
much
what we were.
fun. And you
Well, we
finished
were-
it up on this live stream.
Yeah, I did. The things like on Thursday, I'm gonna be cleaning it up. So we're gonna go over the process of cleaning it up and watching your volumes. And I also in the middle of doing a moving pan, which is basically doing a background that moves
oh
with the
yeah,
animation, but it's
Cool.
not finished. So I need another field for it to be seamless. But that's
You did this on YouTube. This is already better than the best Hanna-Barbera animation of the time.
hey Pedro, are you using Clip Studios in that?
no. This is
Oh,
all.
what program do you use?
This is open tunes, but the thing is, like the techniques I'm giving you, I'm teaching, they don't cater to any software. So, Toon Boom, Clip Studio, like there's an animation feature in Clip Studio, so you can
Yeah,
follow.
that's why I was wondering.
Yeah, you can follow the classes in Clip Studio or Photoshop. There's another open source called Tahoma, which is really good. Adobe Animate. It's just the software doesn't really matter. The principles are the principles.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Well, I just want to let everybody know, like these are tests. So if you guys like this is just the beginning. Pedro and I have been talking about doing episodes with Chrono Mechanics and bringing more things to life. With this whole crowd fund stuff, the animation industry is pretty much dying as what these caretakers did the comics. They're now doing animation, and so it's up to us to continue the art form. And so that's what Pedro does. How often do you do the live streams, Pedro? How many
I'm
times?
doing them every Tuesdays, but I'm gonna start doing Thursdays too because I'm getting a lot of people like Spanish speaking people who want to learn. So I might do the animation dojo en español on Thursdays, and I'm doing like an animation jam on Saturday. So I'm
You
streaming.
need a little guy in the corner to translate,
Yeah.
but not in sign language. Pedro, this stuff is brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm
that's awesome,
enjoying
sir.
seeing my characters, actually move and emote and have attitude and shit. Look, I saw you do the hair on this guy.
Oh
on one of
yeah.
your live streams. It was so cool to see that hair move. It's awesome, man.
Yeah, this rough animation is already finished. Let me turn off the. So that's gonna be the intro. There's gonna be a lot of stuff happening like in front of him and behind him. So on Saturday, I'm gonna try to keep on doing the cleanup, which is basically make it look like this, and then how to apply shadows, which look like this in raw, but when you apply the effects, then it gets like softer.
Yeah, like the cell shaded. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, and then you get like the highlights on the skin. So if you don't, it looks like meh, like nothing. So yeah, that's as I said, like there are different ways to apply effects on different software. So it's not a matter of I'm teaching you guys open tools. No, I'm teaching you guys how to animate and just use the tools you have at hand.
And Pedro showed earlier, like just simple objects, stretch and squash, like different things like that. So he's not just going to throw you in the deep end. He's going to kind of bring you through, and actually, it's just going to, it's brilliant. Just kind of about how to. I don't know anybody else that's doing this. Pedro's giving it away for free on YouTube. So everybody go subscribe and follow Pedro. So
I've already been called an idiot by fellow animators. Like, what you doing?
that happens. That happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a second chance at a campaign, you guys, and it's our own Rob Hunter, Little Ray of Sunshine.
Oh, you know it.
Mr.
And Rob
Positivity. Yeah.
killing it. Are you ready? Go full screen. It's on the video itself.
I can't get out.
So you don't have to. It's in the video. It should be right there.
Oh, by the way, yes, Blender has a 2D capability, and it's really good.
I don't know what's happening.
I can't stop it.
We've lost control.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Ship's going down every
I
minute.
mean, it's rocking.
Can you
If I had
stop
the long
it?
hair like Metallica, I get.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah.
Wait. I'll kill. That's happened before when I was on Fund My Comic, where when I try to zoom in, everything freaks out.
Okay.
So
But
everybody
doesn't it go to your YouTube? There's that little. Isn't it your YouTube video that you're actually playing?
I probably should have clicked on that instead of just hitting play on Fund My
From
Comic.
Yeah, but I
from the
think
website,
it is the same video, right? Like mine.
Yeah,
Mine
yeah,
is
it is
my
linked.
YouTube.
It is.
Yeah, so you're not actually playing. It's not on Fund My
No.
Comic. It's actually your YouTube. So it should work just like
It should, but it's just I even know, like not playing. That's the first time I've actually played the trailer on Fund My Comic. But when I tried to zoom in when I was making a YouTube video talking about my Fund My Comic campaign, I would zoom in and then it'd make things crazy. Like I try to zoom in and like to show off like the booth cover. And then I couldn't zoom out. Like it would just zoom in on a weird section.
Right.
So I don't know if
You know what?
my
It's no
browser.
harm,
What
no
browser
foul.
are you using?
Well, let's not get into that. It's no harm, no foul.
No,
These
no.
things happen. This is live, you guys. So these things happen. So I guarantee you, Rob will have it all figured out by the time we see him next. All right. Well, I have a campaign.
And everybody can go to Fund My Comic and check it out anyways.
Right. Yeah.
So there's no.
It doesn't matter what browser he's using. Just back the fucking buck.
Yeah, just back
Like-
the book, man.
Like 10 times. Back it like 10 times.
Yeah, there's variant covers, so you guys can go there, get the Brett Booth cover, and so
Ooh,
on
black
and
and
so
white.
forth. So this should be my campaign. And watch this. Where is it? I'll play it and then I'll go full screen.
That's what I did, and it freaked out.
It freaked out, man.
It freaked out. All of a sudden, I was looking at one of my YouTube videos of me.
All right. Hey, Rob, it's my turn now.
Yeah.
What's this?
How dare you? Just the best comic ever.
Oh,
Those calves.
tiny.
Dude, this book looks amazing, man. Jesus Christ. This goes on the list of things that make me want to jump in the river.
It looks so good. He should be charging $50 a copy.
Yeah.
50 a copy, easy. Everyone's getting a 50% discount. So good.
I like that. This is the good Rob right now. All right, you guys
Amazing.
are celebrating 30 years of black and white. I think that's why I got all discombobulated with the 40 years. There's so many years. I'm ancient, and it's all a blur, you guys. So 30 years ago, 1994, Image Comics, Black and White was born. And so here we are still telling black and white stories. And the only reason is because of you and all your support. So Black and White Sins of the Father is part 1 of the 2-part Sins of the Father story. So this is volume 3. There will be a 4. So this is just the beginning And we got some interiors. You guys go to the updates because there's some pages in there as well. And then, of course, Pedro's back for the second issue of the High Octane Adventures. This time, Pedro is writing. He's taking over the writing chores from Von Klaus. Can you believe it? Yeah. Yeah, Pedro is a one-man wrecking crew. He's doing the whole book, writing pencils, inks, colors, and it is looking fantastic. We're over halfway done with the book. So you guys back this bad boy today. We had volume 1 with the last campaign, and that was the Man versus Machine campaign. And holy crap, you guys, that did so well. So if you want to, we have limited copies, but you can get volume 1 of the High Octane as well as this new version. Also, you can get all the black and white 1, 2, and the new book 3 with the Jam. So the Jam has all the books. It also has a Juju 11x17 full bleed print that you can get with that. Look at this artwork. This is Pedro. We got 4 covers, 4 jaw-dropping covers. We got the AB done by me and Kyle Ritter on colors, and then we have my buddy Carlo Barberi pencils, my inks, and Brian's colors, and then of course Comicsgate's John Malin on the D cover, dropping the D. So you guys, there's plenty of stuff here. There's all kinds of fun stuff to back look at. Here's all the variants. We have original artwork for sale. And also here is the Juju print with the Jam. We've unlocked 3 of the stretch goals so far, so congratulations. The way the stretch goals work is it's basically free stuff. So every time we hit a threshold, we get, you guys unlock new freebies. So check it out. Link is in the description. If you like what you see, back black and white now, tonight. And also, if that wasn't enough for you guys, I'm going to give you a little preview of what these pages look like and how it's coming along. So here we go. Boom, baby. So here are the black and white inked pages. Can you see that, you guys?
Can you zoom in?
Is that a yes or a no?
I can see them. Yep.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, that's better.
Oh, cool.
Zooming in.
Yeah.
Zooming in is good.
Okay. So yeah, so this is
full screen.
Yeah, this is the start of the new scene. This is black and white encountering a killer robot. So you're going to get a lot of epic robot battles and things like that. We have a villain here that was modeled after the leader. What a disappointment in the new But I assure you, this guy will be more like the leader than the leader is in the pages of black and white. So we have supernatural, we have high tech, we have all kinds of fun, cool stuff. Black and white are showing off the new power suits in this one. Here's the next page in the sequence. I haven't done show you sequences yet. So black and white swinging into action. Whitney dodging, a fatal blow. The robot taking her down. Boom, jamming her into the ground. Look at that shot. Bam.
Nice.
Yeah, and Reed's like, hey, that's not the way we do it, around here. That's not a good move, Whitney. And so then Black, like, I'll show you how to do it. And so he leaps into action. Bam, bam, bam. Whitney jumps down, gives her a little reprise. She regroups and then comes back into action. But that's not good enough for this killer robot. So just as this is happening, her Uncle Yi, hey, Pedro, here's Uncle Yi.
Yeah.
Pedro loves Uncle Yi. So,
that guy's family.
Yeah, so Uncle Yi is like, you know how you like your relatives always call you at inopportune times? So Whitney's in the heat of this battle, and so her uncle is going to update the new brewery with her. And so he doesn't think anything's wrong. He just thinks like, well, she's just having, a meal or something. She's just kicking back, but no, she's in the middle of this epic battle. So here she's like, come on, uncle, this is bad timing. And so he keeps talking like he doesn't really, acknowledge her. And so then she still continues to get her butt kicked. And then we jump to this panel right here, freaking epic.
Nice.
Reed's once again trying to save her butt. Boom, 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 double barrel. And then we see nothing's really happening. Whitney's starting to get her butt kicked even more so. There's no hope. And then major spoiler here. I'm not going to say anything more about this last panel. I'm not going to give you subtext. I'm not going to give you anything. Just this doesn't end very well. So anyway, you guys, I hope you really enjoy the little preview here. And just know every ounce of energy, 40 years of training, everything.
43
years is going into this book. So you guys, I hope you're enjoying the hell out of it, or the stuff that I've done in the past. And this book is going to knock all those other ones out of the water. I still feel like a young punk, and I got something to prove, and I'm going to prove it with issue 3 of Black and White Sins of the Father. So back it. Go subscribe to Pedro. He's doing some killer stuff. Go back Rob's Death Raider on Fund My Comic, and Clint's book, Blue Bombshell, is still in demand. Go back it while you can. He's been teasing closing this puppy down for a while. So get it now before it's too late. Also, Oodles of Doodles is going to be shutting down soon as well. So if you want to get that, back it. And like I said earlier, if you want me to do a commission, just message me. I'll probably post something tomorrow, and then you can just let me know yay or nay, and maybe I'll put a tier up so you guys can get a commission. All right, you guys, it's a blast. I love hanging out with you guys. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for hanging. Thanks for the super chats. You guys are the best. And we will see you next week on another exciting Pontificators. Take care, you guys.